Legislative Day number 14 will now come to order. Please pause for a moment of silent meditation. And could I ask for an additional moment of silence to think about Peter Zimmerman? Pete Zimmerman was People's Counsel for many years. Think about Pete and his family. Okay, thank you. And now I'll call upon Councilmember Young to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under
God, indivisible, with liberty.
Is there a motion to approve the journal for the meeting of July 1?
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the journal is approved. Enrollment of bills, bills 4124, 4324, 4424, 4524, 4624, and 4724 were passed by the council, signed by the county executive, and hereby enrolled. The executive veto of Bill 3124 was overridden by the council and is also enrolled. Bill 4224 was also passed by the council and returned unsigned, hereby enrolled. Mr. Secretary, will you read all bills for introduction?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The first 7 bills are the CZMP bills. For introduction only this evening, Bill 5624, sponsored by Councilman Young, comprehensive zoning map for the 1st District. Bill 5724, sponsored by Councilman Patoka, the comprehensive zoning map for the 2nd District. Bill 5824, sponsored by Councilman Catch, the comprehensive zoning map for the 3rd District. Bill 5924, sponsored by Councilman Jones, the comprehensive zoning map for the 4th District. Bill 60-24, sponsored by Councilman Marks, the comprehensive zoning map for the 5th District. Bill 61-24, sponsored by Councilman Ertel, the comprehensive zoning map for the 6th District. And Bill 62-24, sponsored by Councilman Crandall, the comprehensive zoning map for the 7th District. Those 7 bills are being introduced this evening and will be voted on at the council's special legislative session being held on Tuesday, August 27th at 10 p.m. The remaining bills are as follows. Bill 62-24, sponsored by Councilman Crandall. I'm sorry, Bill 63-24, tax on vacant structures. Bill 64-24, penalties and enforcement for distribution of tobacco products and electronic smoking devices to persons under 21. Bill 65-24, creation of the position of Labor Commissioner in the Executive Compensation System. Bill 66-24, current expense budget, Recreation Council donations. Bill 67-24, sponsored by Councilman Marks, emergency medical service billing, volunteer ambulance units revenue sharing. And Bill 68-24, sponsored by Councilman Ertel, rental housing licenses, short-term rental lease. Those bills are being introduced this evening, and due to the 2 work session change in our rules, those bills will be heard and voted on at the September 16th legislative session. The work session on those 2 bills will be August 27th. I'm sorry, the 2 work sessions on those bills will be August 27th, Tuesday, and September 10th, Tuesday.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Councilman Marks has a
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Boswick, and this may be my error. I'm not going to introduce the emergency medical billing bill yet.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Marks.
That's all right. That may be my error. So
we will withdraw that.
yes, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We'll now consider the appointment confirmations. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
The first item, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is the county executive's nomination of Mandy Heinel to be on the Baltimore County Ethics Commission.
Ms. Heinel, come on up. I think you know your way around here. Ms. Heinel, I know you provided some background at the work session, but if you'd like to make any comments about your background, enthusiasm, or anything else, please feel free to do so.
Mr. Chair, members of the council, thank you again for having me this evening and for your consideration. I'm a lifelong Baltimore County resident. I'm the mom of two. I'm an attorney at Saul Ewing, and I spent the last 15 years in government, as many of you know. I'm really passionate and feel very strongly about instilling the public's trust in government. I want to be part of making sure that government is operating justly and fairly and with integrity, and this is a really great opportunity for me to help do that. So I'm happy again to answer any questions and appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Heinel. Do any of the members have any questions, comments, or thoughts to share regarding Ms. Heinel? Councilman Jones?
Yes, Ms. Heinel, I just wanted to congratulate you for stepping up and look forward to voting for you. And having known you for many years, I'm sure you're going to do a fantastic job. Thank you.
Councilman Marks?
I will echo that sentiment. You were a very able aide to Councilwoman Allman, and you've done very well since leaving the council. And we look forward to having you as part of the county government again.
Any additional questions? Councilman Young?
Echo the same sentiment. Looking forward to working with you again and seeing how we can work together as a council to move things forward. So thank you.
Ms. Heinel, I just want to thank you for all the things you've done. You've worked here in the council office, did a stellar job here. You have experience working for Senator Van Hollen. I think you did a great job for Senator Van Hollen. I know that you were active in your PTSA, and I just want to thank you for all the things that you've done. You have a great track record, and I think that you'll be very successful and a benefit to all of us in Baltimore County in stepping up to be part of this commission. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Councilman Crandall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mrs. Heinel, yeah, what they all said.
Okay.
Look forward to voting for you.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion.
I'll move it.
Second.
Second, okay. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel? Mr. Ertel?
Sorry. Aye. I had
Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Congratulations, Ms. Heinel. Ms. Heinel, usually we do a one clap applaud, but for you, we're doing a full applaud. Sure. Okay. Next, Acting Chief,
Yes, Mr. Chairman,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Secretary, go right ahead.
Next
Next
for
item,
the
please.
council's consideration is the county executive's nomination for acting chief of the fire department, Mr. Scott Ebert, for council confirmation.
Chief Ebert, go right ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. My name is Scott Ebert. For over 28 years, I've been a member of the Volunteer and Career Fire Service here in Baltimore County. Had the distinct pleasure of graduating from Baltimore County's high school program, where I was trained as a firefighter and as an emergency medical technician. I've served in various support service roles throughout my career, in addition to busy stations in emergency operations, including training and education, the Fire Investigation Division, and our Health and Safety Bureau. It's been a long, very rewarding career working for Baltimore County. It got my start in employment with Baltimore County as a 911 dispatcher. And like I said, it's been a pleasure to serve the citizens and visitors of Baltimore County. I focus on a mission first, people always philosophy in my leadership style, and I look forward to filling the role of acting fire chief until a permanent selection is made. Currently a resident of Baltimore County, residing in the Parkville area with my 2 children. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Any of the members have any questions, comments, or thoughts to share? Councilman Jones?
Just want to congratulate you for stepping up, Chief. You have a long, distinguished career and a lot more to go. So thanks for stepping up.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Chief, could I ask you, have you thrown your hat in the ring for permanent chief?
I have not.
You've not, okay. All right. So do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Catch.
Aye.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is the council's consideration of the county executive's nomination of Ms. Elizabeth Sachs to be the acting director of the Department of Aging for the council's confirmation. Ms. Sachs is, I believe, with us online.
Good evening, Ms. Sachs.
Good evening. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here again today. As you know, I'm currently the Deputy County Administrative Officer for Health and Community Services, and the Department of Aging is in my portfolio. And so I know firsthand how Director Riley has such big shoes to fill, and I've had the pleasure of working with her very able team the past few weeks and really the past few months. So I look forward to continuing to work with the department in this acting role as we continue the search for a permanent director. I can say that even prior to my role as a Deputy County Administrative Officer, I worked closely with the department during the COVID response, where I found firsthand how integral our network of senior centers and our work with seniors across the county is so important. And as I think you all know, we have almost 25% of the county's residents are over 60. So I have some background with the department. I've enjoyed working with the team and will continue to do so until we find a permanent replacement, and appreciate your thoughtfulness and can answer any questions that you might have tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Sachs. Do any of the members have any questions, comments, or thoughts to share? Well, Councilman Jones?
No, I was just going to say that I look forward to continuing to work with Ms. Sachs. She's done an awful lot for the county since she's been here. She's been an all-around player, and she's stepping up to do another job. And I'm sure she'll do well.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ms. Sachs, I just want to thank you. I've known you for quite a while now, maybe 10, 12 years. I knew you when you were in the Department of Labor. We worked in state government together. You were always a vital decision maker in things that we did at the state, and I think that you've moved smoothly and seamlessly to be a vital decision maker here in Baltimore County. Although you keep a low profile, we know that you have your voice is always heard in the decision making here in Baltimore County. So I just want to thank you for taking your skill set to the Department of Aging and helping that to be a seamless transition.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Do we have a motion for Ms. Elizabeth Sachs?
So
So moved. Second.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones.
Aye.
Okay, congratulations, Ms. Sachs.
Thank you all so very much.
Okay, we've got quite a few people that bring strong skill sets up. And Mr. Secretary, we have a strong skill set for the next appointee.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Next is the county executive's nomination to the Baltimore County Animal Hearing Board of Yoti Mohan.
Ms. Mohan. Is the mic on? Ms. Mahan, would you reintroduce yourself so that folks online can hear?
Sure. Good evening, Chair and council members. My name is Jyoti Mohan. I live in District 3 of Baltimore County, and I am an educator by profession. I am a professor of history, and by passion, I am an animal lover and an animal advocate. So I was very excited when I was asked to be a member of the Animal Hearing Board. I've done my research on the Animal Hearing Board, and I'm very, very proud to be able to join this group of, just and fair-minded individuals who are trying to do their best for the humans and the animals in Baltimore County. So, yes, I'm looking forward to serving.
Thank you, Ms. Mohan. Do any of the members have any questions, comments, or thoughts to share with Ms. Mohan? Okay. Ms. Mohan. Oh, go ahead, Councilman Jones.
Just appreciate you stepping up. Thank you.
Ms. Mohan, I want to just call you out for all the community work that you do. I see you doing community work actively in the 3rd District and also in other districts. And so I just appreciate, I don't want it to go understated that the work you do on the community side is recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Marks?
And this is one of the kind of the quieter volunteer bodies we have, but it's very difficult assignments. A lot of the cases are very excruciating, I think. And, so I want to commend you for your service and all who have served on this body.
I have been told, and I hope I have the moral fortitude to be present and make those decisions.
Thank you. Do we have a motion for Ms. Mohan?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Cash?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Okay. Congratulations, Jyoti. Okay, we'll now move on to final reading and vote for bills. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
First item, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is Bill 48-24, Current Expense Budget American Immigration Council Grant.
Okay, we have Ms. Valencia Banks.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the council. My name is Juliana Valencia Banks. I serve as the Chief of Immigrant Affairs, and I am here because the administration is requesting a supplemental appropriation of private funds from the American Immigration Council totaling $27,000. These funds will help us implement part of the strategic plan for welcoming and belonging that Baltimore County published in April of this year. I would like to thank Chairman Patoka and Councilman Young for your support the day of the launch. The strategic plan is the product of over a year of working with the New Americans Task Force to create a plan that not only is led by the people, but is for the people. One of the things that we found in this plan was that our new neighbors were requesting accessible information. They were accessing, needing to access services throughout the county, and the funding will be used to host our very first Baltimore County Welcome Week event in September. We'll also hold workshops for folks to know their rights around labor, tenant, and immigrant rights, as well as holding immigration legal screening clinics. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Valencia Banks. Do any of the members have any comments, questions, or thoughts to share? Okay, hearing none. Do we have a motion?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Lancier. Thanks. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 49-24, the Building Code of Baltimore County.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the County Council. Bill 4924 replaces the 2015 Building Code as adopted by Bill 40-15 with the 2021 International Building Code, Residential Code, Mechanical Code, Model Energy Conservation, International Swimming Pool and Spa Code. I think at the last work session, I mentioned some of the biggest changes was adding standards and conditions for EV charging stations, but also that we are taking fences and piers and moving them out of the building code and putting them all into the zoning code. Currently, zoning regulations, currently they're split into both sections, but to make for consistency in one place for all the standards to be located would be in the zoning regulations. One thing I'd like to add, if it's okay, Mr. Boswick, to identify that we do have one amendment. It was inadvertently omitted. It was a section of the building code that is currently in the building code. We inadvertently omitted it. We're putting it back in under section part 121.1 about unsafe structures. If you recall, we did a bill on unsafe structures. We thought that had covered all of it, but it had not. So we wanted to include this. This is mostly dealing with equipment. So it was omitted in the original draft of the bill, but we're putting it all back in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gutwald. Do any of the members have any questions, comments, or thoughts to share with Mr. Gutwald?
Yes, I do. I just
Councilman
wanted
Jones?
to, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Gutwald, I don't think I've told you this week how much I appreciate your service to the county, but you've always been extremely responsive to me and the needs of my constituents, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, we have an amendment, Mr. Secretary?
We do, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. As Mr. Gutwald explained, there is a reference, it is a technical amendment, and there is text from the current building code that should have been retained in this bill, and the amendment would just restore that language. It's about 2.5 pages within the bill, and I think it's in your books.
Okay.
And it's related to, as Mr. Gutwald said, unsafe structures.
Do we have a motion on the amendment?
Move the amendment.
I'll second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendment.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye. Okay, the amendment passes. Mr. Secretary, any comments or questions on the bill itself? Okay, do we have a motion on the bill?
I'll move it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Okay, the bill passes. Thank you, Mr. Gutwald. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 50-24, sponsored by council members Ertel, Patoka, and Catch, adequate public facilities, overcrowded school districts, clarifying legislation.
Okay, we had extensive discussion on this at the work session, and I think what I stated at the work session was that we've been trying to implement some of the recommendations of the Adequate Public Facilities Task Force from 2020. It stood dormant for many years, brought to the table in 2024. It was passed by this council, vetoed by the county executive, The veto was overturned by the council. The council looked at some of the the sponsors, I should say, looked at some of the considerations that were important to the executive, the county executive. And in discussions with him, we introduced a bill that basically did two things. One is it made the APFO committee advisory, is one significant change. And the second significant change relates to the voluntary compliance agreement of 2016, in which it would allow for an exemption for those units that would get us to the 1,000 units. And I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of being 250 units shy of the agreement, the voluntary compliance agreement, specifically related to the 2016 VCA. And so those are the two major modifications. I would ask for the co-sponsors if they have any additional comment or thoughts related to this bill. And they're both online. So,
Chair, I can.
Councilman Ertel?
Yes, thank you. Yes, so we had talked about this in session. We believe that the VCA piece to this is something that is important. We're about 250 units away from our goal for affordable housing, for 250 away from 1,000 total. This amendment merely says that while we're on this 2016 VCA, basically you can, we're not going to stop on a building. We believe that those units will probably be reached hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, and it may not really even factor in these percentages down from 150%. But we thought it was good to include that. The committee being advisory, while we do have concerns that there was some concern that the committee being have ultimate authority coming to the county council with their recommendations for the school board or the county executive for that matter. So one of the things we believe, we've said this before, we need to start on the road, and whether the committee's advisory or not, it would be helpful to get the committee together so they can start making decisions and get a sense of what kind of information they need, what they feel they're going to need from us. And I'm sure they'll come back to the county council and ask for either additional items or help in reaching their goals of dealing with overcrowding in nursing homes. So we believe while this bill just tweaks some of the things for 3124, it by no means guts that we originally passed.
Thank you, Councilman Ertel. Do any of the members have any additional comments, questions, or thoughts to share? Councilman Crandall?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I think I expressed my concerns with this particular bill in the work session, so I won't reiterate. Just that I would ask that my amendment be considered. I assume that we're moving along with that shortly. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we have a couple of amendments on this bill. Mr. Secretary, you want to go through the first amendment?
Yes, sir. The first amendment is related to the timeline for the utilization reports. This is an amendment offered by the administration. So the bill as written requests the Board of Education to produce by November 1st of each year or shortly thereafter a school utilization report and to map the details. And then using the September 30th enrollment numbers and projected enrollment numbers as determined by the Board of Ed. The administration has requested an amendment that would shift the timing to reflect the current policy and procedure that planning is going by. The County Board of Ed submits the school enrollment figures to the state for their review and certification. This certification by the state might not occur until the end of November, and then BCPS generates the utilization report and 10-year enrollment projections. And historically, planning has not received that until January or February. So again, this amendment would shift the timeline for generating the utilization reports to following the publication of BCPS's annual student count, which occurs in February, and then or shortly thereafter, just to reflect their actual practice.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Any comments or thoughts related to the amendment? Okay, do we have a motion on the amendment?
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Okay, it looks like the amendment is approved. Mr. Secretary, you have another amendment?
Yes, sir. The next amendment is offered by Councilman Catch, I believe is in your books. And essentially what this amendment would do is allow the Committee on Public School Capacity, which would be advisory as stated in Bill 5024, for a period of 2 years, allow it to be advisory, and then thereafter the committee would become a decision-making body issuing the adequate school capacity certificates as contemplated in Bill 3124, and the processes and provisions in Bill 3124 would then become in effect and supersede the processes and provisions currently in Bill 24 after the 2 years.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilman Catch.
Yeah, thank you very much. This amendment, if you all remember when we voted on 3124, members of the council and in fact the administration expressed concern over this committee having the power to approve or not approve developments in relation to the school overcrowding issue. And the concern was that, we don't know how this committee is going to operate. We don't know the procedures because they haven't been set in place. We don't know what information they're going to be able to get, whether they are getting all the information they need. So this particular proposal, and let me just say that we're fortunate to have the chairman of the work group that made the recommendations in 2020 in our audit office. And I would expect that the audit office would work with this commission for at least the next 2 years when the procedures are adopted, when information is gathered, so that we have a very smooth operating committee. So I would think that it probably will take 9 months to a year for this committee to make its first recommendations. And then for the next year, they'd have that year to work with audit, to work with the council in order to iron out the system to make sure that it's operating properly so that the committee would be ready to make these declarations of approval, realizing that this power that this commission is getting is unique and it's unprecedented. And therefore, we do need to make sure that this commission operates in such a way that its decisions are going to be beneficial to the county, to the students of the county, to new housing, et cetera. So they're the reasons that I put this in, because I think that for the commission to know that, you know, they have a goal that in 2 years, they have to get this right. And then they'd have the power that's in the original bill that did pass and the veto was overridden. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilman Catch. Do we have any additional comments? Okay, Councilman Jones.
Yes, Councilman Catch, I appreciate your putting in the amendment. I just feel like we should go along and see how it works out. We can always make changes as we move forward, whether it be in 2 years, 3 years, or 6 months, as far as that goes. But I guess don't like the idea of putting a sunset in right now. I understand what you're trying to do, but I guess think we should probably wait and see how everything works out.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Councilman Catch.
I think to make this committee advisory only really isn't going to achieve the goals that we all have. And I think with this, 2 years is a long time. And I think with this 2-year period that we will be able to get this commission going in the right direction. I mean, obviously, if there are problems with it, et cetera, the council would have the power to change this date or to eliminate the date and keep it advisory. So I want us to have a goal in mind, and that goal being that this commission would ultimately be deciding whether or not a new development should be built or not, related to overcrowded schools. We have the governor's bill that passed the legislature, which is going to result in maybe the next 2-3 years, increased development, possibly like we've never seen before in Baltimore County. Apartments, et cetera. You're going to have high density areas, and we must make sure that we're not going to overcrowd our schools. So I really push for the 2-year period.
Thank you, Councilman Catch. Any additional comments?
Chair.
Councilman Ertel.
Councilman Catch, I agree with you, but I feel like, again, it's one of these things. We really need to get the car on the road. We need to get the committee meeting, and I think if they decide that they want, that they're being ignored, which would be very disappointing after all the effort and time and blood, sweat, and tears that we've put into this bill. I know I'd bring a bill to make them have binding authority if what they're shedding light on is being ignored completely. But I think it's also one of the sticking points with the school board and BCPS as well. And until we can work out the MOU and I said, and get the committee working, I think this is going to cause more problems than it's worth.
Thank you, Councilman Ertel. Any additional comments, questions, or thoughts? Okay, do we have a motion on Councilman Catch's amendment?
I'll move the amendment.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay, we have a motion.
I will second it.
Okay, we have a second from Councilman Marks. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Nay.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Nay.
Mr. Crandall?
No.
Mr. Young?
No.
Mr. Catch?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Nay.
Okay, the amendment fails. Mr. Secretary, next amendment, please.
The next amendment, Mr. Chairman, is offered by Councilman Ertel. This amendment essentially has two components. There are several instances in the bill where the text states after 3 years, quote unquote. The amendment offered by Mr. Ertel clarifies that reference where it states currently overcrowded, projected to be overcrowded after 3 years, and where it says or is projected to be overcrowded after 3 years. The amendment would state after 3 years from the hearing officer's hearing for the development plan approval. What this does by adding that verbiage from the hearing officer's hearing for development plan approval is it creates a sort of triggering point so that when looking 3 years down the road, you're looking at the 3 years from the time of the hearing officer's hearing for the development plan, so that there is a date certain that is being projected as to whether a school will be overcrowded after 3 years or the project will cause it to become overcrowded after 3 years. The next part of the amendment would allow for conditional approval of a development plan in an overcrowded school district, but no building plans could be issued. And this conditional approval would be until either the school district is no longer overcrowded or 4 years has elapsed following development plan approval. So those two components those two items are in the bill, that the district is no longer overcrowded or 4 years have elapsed. But again, similar to the amendment I just read, there needed to be kind of a triggering point or something that would start that clock, and the conditional approval of the development plan, even though it would be in an overcrowded district, would allow for that either 4 year time to start or the opportunity for the district to no longer be overcrowded for whatever period of time that would take, if less than 4 years. And again, keep in mind, no building permits would be issued during that period.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments or thoughts on this amendment? Okay, hearing none, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, actually,
Councilman Crandall?
I'm sorry, Councilman.
After you.
Councilman Ertel?
Yes.
This is your amendment. Would you care to speak to it?
It was just cleaning up some language that we had gotten some concern about, because it was just not very clear as to how it would work. So we were just trying to clean up the language to make it as clear as possible.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Ertel. I'll just say, I'm going to go back to 3124 and why this bill has become so convoluted. Councilman Young asked at least 3 times of the sponsors of the original bill how this would work. And now we're considering amendments for 5024, and we're trying to figure out on the fly how it would work. Just want to throw that into the mix here, because it just seems we've had since 2020 to consider this. Councilman Young asked the question that was on everyone's mind. No one bothered to answer it, and now we're fixing it. I think you can understand where some of the voters and citizens and advocates are having trouble with our handling of this issue. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Councilman Jones, did you have a comment?
No, I was going to, congratulate Councilman Ertel for adding this amendment. I think this 2 amendments, if you will add a certain level of certainty or assurance to people. It's sort of like a loophole that is being closed up, where people will know what's going to happen. We are at a point here in Baltimore County where for the last 3 years we've lost population. And I'm seriously concerned about any efforts to curtail building in Baltimore County. I don't want us to go by the way of so many jurisdictions around the state as well as around the country who continue to lose population. Tax base goes down, we raise taxes to compensate, and the spiral just goes on and on and on. And then at some day, we have to either continue to raise taxes or cut services. So the alarms are going off in my head. So I appreciate this amendment because it's a step in the right direction. Thank you.
Okay, one of the things that what we're trying to do here is we're trying to prevent school overcrowding. And I think the way we can provide quality education to all of the residents, all the students, all the families in Baltimore County is to prevent school overcrowding. And I think that our population has plateaued. Our population growth plateaued based on a number of factors, such as interest rates, such as post-COVID behavior, and I think it's more of a plateau, but I think that if we don't take measures to improve our ability to educate our children, we most certainly will lose population, because if Baltimore County is known as not being able to provide quality education to the students that go to our schools, then families will not want to move here. And so I think that this action is a step in the right direction. Councilman Crandall, I will state to your concern is we don't know how things will work, and Councilman Young's question, it's the nature of a legislative body is to take action. If things need to be modified, then we as a legislative body have the authority to modify that. And behavior changes. So I'm going to battle two fronts here, but I think it's important to state what I believe to be is a fair characterization of what's going on. Councilman Crandall.
Mr. Chairman, yes, I'd like to respond to you. I think you may have missed my point. My point was not that the council wasn't trying to do something about school overcrowding, and I don't expect this body to have a crystal ball. And I hate to speak for Councilman Young, so Councilman Young, please forgive me. However, his question pertained to the process of how this new APFO ordinance would work, not whether we had a crystal ball on whether the ordinance itself will work, but what are the processes? And I understand that Mr. Ertel's amendment is an effort to provide a bit of more clarity into the process. I fully appreciate Councilman Jones's comment on it. But again, my comment was that this seems to be a bill that won't go away because it wasn't fully vetted and figured out when it was introduced earlier this year. So that's my point, and I'm not even in opposition to Councilman Ertel's amendment or proposed amendment. I just feel that there are some lessons learned in how we've handled this, and you know, we all hear this from, again, the citizens and the advocates. And I don't want to get into the debate that we had over 3124, but you had mentioned that you seem to be equating school overcrowding with school performance. And I would venture to say that overcrowded classrooms are less of a factor than a lot of the other concerns that we have about Baltimore County Public Schools. So I'll leave it at that since you're tired of hearing from me.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Crandall, any additional comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Councilman Catch.
Yeah, as a former teacher, I really disagree with the statement that an overcrowded school has more, well, the performance of a school, an overcrowded school, the chances of it performing well are not as high as one where the population is what it should be according to the capacity of the school. You know, I was in the classroom for 20-some years, and all I can tell you is that, you know, if you have large class, 30, 35 students, very difficult to get to every student that needs help, that, isn't understanding what's being taught. And so overcrowding is a major component to our schools. Now, as far as overcrowded schools go and school performance, if I'm optimistic that with our new superintendent, when we go on the state of Board of Education's website and see the latest scores for our county schools, there will be an improvement over the ones from the previous year. Because I'll tell you, if I was moving to Baltimore County and I looked at the performance of our schools in Baltimore County, I would not, because we had a problem. But I'm hoping again with our new superintendent that things are turning around and that our schools are improving.
Thank you, Councilman Catch. I hope you are correct.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilman Crandall.
Councilman Catch, I would ask you rhetorically, how do you explain the success of Sparrows Point High School, the most overcrowded school in Baltimore County? And it's still a very successful school. And, I would also say that, are we teaching our students that if they're in an overcrowded classroom, that somehow they're being victimized? And I would suggest that we all read a book called The Coddling of the American Mind, because we're giving a built-in excuse for some students in an overcrowded school to say, oh, I'm in an overcrowded school, therefore I'm not in the best environment that I can be, instead of trying to teach them to make their environment as best they can. That to me is a message that we're sending, which is why I've been so conflicted about this. And I've taken Councilman Jones's comments to heart, that we are seeking a solution here for a problem that only exists in a few schools. And I just, and we haven't even gotten to my amendment yet, but the sort of, there's some hypocrisy going on here, and there is some political grandstanding going on here, quite frankly, about an issue so we can say we did something. I have a problem with that. I'm sorry.
I hope that you're not accusing me of political grandstanding. I'm just make the comments I made because I am a retired public school teacher. And as far as Sparrows Point goes, that is a very good community. And when a school's in a good community, the school has a better shot of being successful, very successful.
You just made my point for me.
I absolutely can tell you that overcrowded schools in most of the areas of Baltimore County are going to not be as successful as others. It's a fact. It's not a guess. It's a fact. And I do not think that anyone in the school system would preach to the students that this class is overcrowded. So I don't expect you to do as well.
Mr. Chair.
I'm really offended by that. And I could assure you, I've got the experience.
Well, Councilman, I'm sorry that you're offended.
Absolutely.
So I don't recall in this whole debate since 3124, I don't recall hearing from Tabco or a teacher.
Oh, we heard from Tabco, believe me.
Councilman Young, and we didn't hear from Tabco.
Well, that was back in 3124, but I mean, was that the strongest message they could have sent?
Right. I had some comments prepared, but I was going to wait till after we got through the amendments. So, I mean, without shutting down debate, but just maybe moving it till after I move the amendment?
And I'll second that. Same thing.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Chair, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Okay, amendment carries. We have another amendment?
We do, Mr. Chairman. The next amendment is offered by Mr. Crandall. This gets us to Mr. Crandall's VCA exception. The VCA exception currently in the bill allows a development plan approval and issuance of permits in an overcrowded school district if the county attorney issues a written opinion that the proposed development is needed to fulfill the county's affordable housing targets under the 2016 Voluntary Compliance and Conciliation Agreement. The amendment would strike that language, strike essentially the VCA exception from Bill 50.
Councilman Crandall?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, now that I've offended Councilman Catch and made a couple other of you mad, I'll ask for your support of my amendment. And I've spoken on this before, that Sparrows Point High School is an overcrowded school in the 7th District, and there is a property specifically called out by the General Assembly in statute that would make that particular property able to be developed for affordable housing without any Baltimore County regulations or zoning classifications applying. So I need to do what I need to do, and I would ask for your support in helping me protect Fort Howard, a historic site in Baltimore County, and protect Sparrows Point High School and the students that go there and the students that are in the funnel for Sparrows Point High School, considering all the things that have been said about overcrowded schools are bad for students. We want to prevent school overcrowding. If that is the goal, this is the perfect opportunity to do that by striking the VCA exemption of the current language in the bill. So with that, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, go ahead.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Any questions, comments, or thoughts for Councilman Crandall? Okay, do we have, Councilman Ertel?
I just had one comment, and Todd, Councilman Crandall, I'm sorry. I understand where you're coming from on this. I believe Sparrows Point right now, I don't know the percentage, but it's 130% plus overcrowded. That under the current rule is over 115%. I don't know that I don't know if they've tried to claim that there's an adjacent school district that has capacity, because it seems to be Dundalk High, Patapsco High, Chesapeake High School are all either at or over capacity. Unless they're going to say that Lansdowne, new Lansdowne, I still don't know how they're going to end up building anything there under the current. And I might be wrong. So, but again, that's the school. We have a couple schools that are so grossly overcrowded, and Sparrows Point is one of them right now.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Ertel. Any additional comments, questions, or thoughts? Okay, do we have a motion on Councilman Crandall's amendment?
Yes, I'll move it.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? Okay, we'll give it one more shot. Is there a second on Councilman Crandall's amendment? Okay, hearing none, it does not move. Failure for a second. Okay. Next, do we have any additional amendments?
I believe those are all of the amendments, Mr. Chairman. Administration, Mr. Catch, Mr. Ertel, Mr. Crandall.
Okay. So we are, any comments, questions, or thoughts? Anyone, Councilman Marks, on the bill itself?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Councilman Catch, for being an educator for so many years, and I am also currently an educator. The school overcrowding affects instruction in many ways. And I'm just going to outline a few ways that it affects instruction. Public safety, we have a limited number of school resource officers. On August 27th, 2012, I was on the grounds of Perry Hall High School when they dealt with the shooter. Fortunately, there was very courageous teachers who worked with this SRO to deal with that situation. But who knows what would have happened if that SRO was not nearby. We have a growing English language learner and special education caseload in many of our schools, and those students need particular help. There's greater noise distractions in classrooms. There's less personalized instruction, often an increase in disciplinary problems, and public health. In many cases, students have to go outside to trailers in the elements. They have to go outside in sleet and snow and rain. Is that healthy? And then let's also look at the physical construction of overcrowded schools, the impact of traffic on surrounding communities, the impact of having trailers on valuable recreation space, so on and so on. Yes, I do think there are some schools that excel despite their class size, but as a general statement, my opinion for many years has been that this is a major reason why so many schools are failing, and our inability to deal with this over decades has hurt Baltimore County. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Councilman Young?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I've made it, clear up to this point too, where I stood on the previous bill. Mentioned even that I might have co-sponsored this one as well. Chose not to, mainly just from a standpoint of, again, asking the question of how things work, but also engaging with colleagues and getting those answers that I was not able to receive with the previous iteration. That being said, though, there's nothing in this bill. I'm going to support it. I'm saying this on the front end, that I'm going to support this piece of legislation. What I'm pointing out before we do that, before we go into a vote, that I don't see anything in this bill that wasn't brought up during the multiple weeks of deliberation, including going through our new process for public input. There's nothing in this bill that wasn't brought up during that period. So while I'm glad that we're now addressing it in a fixer bill, to Councilman Crandall's point, don't worry, you didn't put any words in my mouth. I appreciate you saying something, but from the end of the day, how are we listening to each other, and how are we listening to the public and the departments that are charged with implementing what we ultimately decide to do? If there was something specific to this legislation that didn't come up during the 3+ weeks, over the month of deliberations on it, then let's put in a fixer bill. Let's do that. I don't see and didn't hear anything that we couldn't have fixed prior to passing this in the first place. And as I stated before, I never thought I'd be on the other end of this in the first iteration. And it came down to process, and it came down to something that we privately discuss all the time. We talked about this legislative session in Annapolis and how it seemed like the state was coming after our authority, the council's authority. We've talked about privately legislation that comes from the executive's office and how it affects our power, our responsibility. Is it overstepping? And then we passed a bill that took away the executive's function over an action and a decision that is purely their role. And now we're fixing that. I believe that we're fixing that. And it's for the better. I just still ask the question on how are we engaging with each other to make sure that we don't have to go through this process. The purpose of having multiple opportunities for the public to engage with us in the department is so that we don't have to have fixer bills, so that when something happens or we implement something, that we can come back and address it, not right away, but address it after it's implemented. I've already made it clear that I'm not happy with the way that it turned out, but I'm glad that we are here, because at some point, we as members and the sponsors of the original bill also agreed that something was worth changing. And I appreciate your willingness to be flexible with that. Chairman Patoka, Councilman Marks, Councilman Ertel, and Councilman Katz. I appreciate your willingness to hear, and I hope we continue to do that so that we don't find ourselves putting in multiple bills, going through an entire process, overriding vetoes, and then putting in fixer bills. And I hope this is the last time that we end up alleviating situations that we've created for ourselves. So I thank you for the opportunity to at least speak before we take a vote. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilman Young. And this is no doubt a very, very complex issue. It's an issue that stimulates emotion. Maybe that's, the APFO task force did its work in 2020, completed it in November of 2020. It sat inexplicably dormant for 3 years. And maybe because it is so complex and raises so many emotions, maybe that's why it didn't move from a recommendation from a hardworking task force. And so sometimes we've got to address some of the things that did not get addressed over the years. And so these are, and it's complex, and it's a heavy legislative lift. But I'm really thankful to my colleagues that we did engage in this after years of it being a report, wasn't on the bookshelf, it was on our website, on the lower, I think the lower right-hand corner of the website for almost 4 years. And so it becomes more difficult as time passes, but I do want to thank my colleagues for taking up this incredibly difficult piece of legislation that resulted in the initial piece 3124 and then a second review of it in 5024.
Chair, can I
Councilman Ertel.
I think we're here because also the administration did not come to us. Councilman Young, you did not try to make any kind of commitments to 3124. And, we went down a road to pass it. I think the administration thought that it would pass, and it did. And, I think we were conciliatory in the sense of we knew there were some things that could be better, and hopefully 24 makes that better, and we get where we want to go. But I agree with you in the sense of could have been a better process. It wasn't. This is what happened. Hopefully we can move forward from here when we have, and this was, as the chairman said, it was a complex bill, had a lot of issues, had a lot of angles to it. And ultimately, I think we're moving the county forward, with this committee, start looking at overcropping in our services.
Okay, any additional, Councilman Jones?
Yes, first of all, I want to thank everybody for their hard work. Needless to say, I was against the first bill because I think it's important to note that the schools aren't here. The schools say they have 10 schools that are overcrowded out of 176, and this budget will address that 10. So I think that's important to note. I think the first bill was a disaster, and this bill is a step in the right direction. So I'm going to vote for it because I believe it will make things better. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Jones. Councilman Crandall, you have a comment?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The hypocrisy is mind-numbing to me that you want to keep schools from overcrowding, and here's a school in my district that is at 130% over capacity, with property at risk of being developed in high density, and I couldn't even get a second on the motion to strike the VCA provision in the bill. Do you want to stop school overcrowding or not? Obviously you don't, because there are other political agendas that apparently everybody has to adhere to, out of political correctness or whatever. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall.
And I,
Councilman Jones?
Councilman Crandall, I really appreciate your comments, and I guess want to tell you it was a very difficult decision for me because no one wants an overcrowded school. But I never lose the context when I see people, when we start talking about affordable housing and people having a place to live, there's a connection. I think most people, if they ride down the street and they see people, families living underneath a bridge, they would all have sympathy and empathy. But then at the next minute, if they talk about building an affordable housing unit in their community, the empathy is right out the window. Well, I'm here to tell you, those are the same people. Those are the same people in a different stage of homelessness. First, people lose their housing. They go from friend house to friend house, sleeping on sofas, trying to make it work, living in basements, living in their cars. Then at some point, some of them will end up in our shelter, and they'll give that a shot for a long time. And then some of them, if they're lucky enough, they will overcome it. Others will end up underneath that bridge. So we must do everything in our power to not lose sight that housing is a human right, and we should be doing what we can to provide affordable housing for people. And when I say affordable housing, I mean that's not just for the indigent people at the bottom of the rung. I'm talking about people who work hard each and every day. Two income households who cannot afford to buy a house here in Baltimore County, who have to go someplace else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Jones. Councilman Crandall?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have been protecting Fort Howard from overdevelopment for almost a decade now. And I've worked hard, as a lot of other people in the community have, to try to get a solution moving, and we finally have a solution for the Southeastern District moving along, slow as it may be and as frustrating as it may be. And as far as affordable housing goes, the 7th District has played its role more than any other district in Baltimore County, with possibly the exception of yours, Councilman Jones. So I do not want to hear it that affordable housing is an appropriate thing in a community that has an overcrowded school with an infrastructure that can't handle more high-density housing that I've been protecting for 10 years. And now I have to hear we want to stop school overcrowding, and we're afraid of high-density development. But it's okay if we put it in the 7th District. So, I think the arguments that are being made are poorly conceived and poorly voiced. And it just speaks to the general hypocrisy of the spirit behind this bill in the first place. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Any additional comments? Okay, do we have a motion on the Bill 5024?
Move the bills amended.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second it. Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
No.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
No.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Okay. Bill 5024 passes. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 51-24, sponsored by Councilman Catch. Uses permitted in the RC4 zone, long-term care and nursing home facility.
Okay, Councilman Catch.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, what this legislation does, it allows a senior development on land zone RC4, as long as that property has public water and sewer. I just want to remind everybody that land that's zoned RC4, 70% of it must be in preservation. And I hesitate to let you know what property I have in mind, because I don't want to be accused of putting in legislation that just is too restrictive. So, but if you want to ask me, I'll tell you.
Does anyone going to ask Mr. Catch? Councilman Catch? Okay. No one wants to ask you, so.
I would, but I don't want to offend him.
Okay, so any questions or comments for Councilman Catch? Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Okay, bill passes. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next is Bill 52-24, sponsored by Council Members Marks and Ertel, Design Review Areas, Overly Rossville Commercial Revitalization District.
Okay, Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. This legislation requires that new development in the Overly Rossville Commercial Revitalization District be subject to evaluation by the Design Review Panel. As you know, the Design Review Panel includes architects and other experts who look at the aesthetics of structures. As you have the repurposing of buildings and new construction in this area along Bel Air Road, closer to Baltimore City and the Beltway, that sort of attention, I think, is going to be very valuable. So I'm happy to be a sponsor of this bill along with Councilman Ertel.
Thank you. Councilman Ertel, any comments?
I'd just like to reiterate Councilman Mark said. We have a lot of redevelopment opportunities along these corridors, and I think we both believe that design review of those projects would be helpful. Continuity and attractiveness, trying to put together what the future of these corridors are going to look like.
Thank you, Councilman Ertel. Any questions, comments, or thoughts for the sponsors from the members? Okay, hearing none. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Okay, bill carries. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next is Bill 53-24, sponsored by Councilman Young, zoning regulations, uses permitted in the business local zone butcher shop.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bill 5324 clarifies the usage in the BL zone to allow for a butcher shop. Thank you for the conversation leading up to the vote. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Any comments, questions, or thoughts for Councilman Young? Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks? Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Okay, we now have butcher shops in BL. Next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman and members of the council, is Bill 54-24. This bill is sponsored by Councilman Marks, zoning regulations, data centers, and energy storage devices.
Okay, Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask Ms. Belcastro to please put up a map on the board. I do want to give credit to WBAL for the map because it's an important part of my presentation. Bill 5424 permits data centers and energy storage devices on property within the Chesapeake Bay critical area. Again, I'm going to repeat that. This bill does not apply to northern and western Baltimore County. It does not enable data centers or energy storage units on farmland in those areas. And we will be further entertaining an amendment that narrows the focus of the legislation. So in August of 2022, the owner of the CP Crane coal-fired power plant in the Bowley's Quarters area imploded the double smokestacks that were a landmark in eastern Baltimore County for 6 decades. The repurposing of that power plant has been an important part of negotiations regarding the future of the site. For the past 2 years, community, state, and federal leaders have been working to preserve the bulk of the CP Crane coal-fired power plant as a new waterfront park in Bowley's Quarters. That effort has been supported by our U.S. senators, by Congressman Ruppersberger, by our state legislators, and by every community organization in this area. As part of the negotiations, the developer, the owner, will convey to Baltimore County about 80 acres of land that will help create a new waterfront park in eastern Baltimore County. It will actually help create a nearly unbroken network of green space stretching from Carroll Island all the way up to Gunpowder Falls State Park, Hammerman area. As part of those negotiations, the former coal-fired power plant would be repurposed into a battery storage unit. Again, if this legislation passes, only on this and other sites that meet the standards of the legislation. The map there is of the Maryland Piedmont Reliability Project. We've been getting a lot of emails from people in northern Baltimore County concerned about this project, and I am not unsympathetic to their concerns. We're going to be discussing in a few minutes a resolution that I have in regarding the Brandon Shores mitigation project, which has not gotten as much attention, but also has raised the concerns of my constituents. So I'm not unsympathetic to concerns about this project. But what I'm afraid has happened is there's been a lot of misrepresentation about this legislation. Look at where the project is to be built. The yellow lines are the project. They are nowhere near the blue water. That's where the critical area is. So I urge my colleagues to please vote for this legislation. It is a critical part of the negotiations that have advanced over a 2-year period to creating a waterfront park in eastern Baltimore County, something the county executive, I give the county executives and his staff tremendous credit. They've been a great leader on this, but leaders from both parties at every level of government have been involved with this. The residents of my district deserve open space just like the residents of all of our districts, including those in the north and the west and in rural parts of the 5th District. Those folks on Middle River have been waiting for this waterfront park, and I urge you to please adopt this legislation that's an important part of the negotiations. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. Anybody have any of the members have any questions, comments, or thoughts for Councilman Marks? Okay, Councilman Marks, could I ask you on that map?
Sure.
If we could return to that map? So the question I'll have, so I saw the yellow lines, and I see Westminster as a point of reference. Mm-hmm. Do the yellow lines extend into Baltimore County as they go east from Carroll County into?
My understanding is they do.
Okay, I couldn't have seen the county lines on that. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, and look, again, I will repeat this. I am not unsympathetic to these concerns. They are very similar to the concerns residents of Kingsville are expressing. I unfortunately think that there has been some confusion and not enough information given out. This legislation does not affect the yellow areas. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Marks. So I think we didn't have any additional questions, comments. We have amendments?
We do.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We have amendments offered by the bill's sponsor, Councilman Marks. The first amendments, they're mostly technical. The first one that Mr. Marks is offering would, in the first whereas clause, there is a reference that states, or other gargantuan enterprises. Gargantuan is struck and replaced with digital and web-based enterprises. In addition, Mr. Marks, in the definition of energy storage device, specifies that if located in the RC5 zone, the site of such a device shall be a minimum of 30 acres and located within 1/2 mile of a transmission line. The amendment is the addition of the phrase "if located in the RC5 zone." Additionally, there are several references in the bill where the use would be permitted in the MR, the ML, or the MH zone, where it states subject to section 440. Those references to that section are struck from the bill. In addition, there is, in the locational requirements of the bill, the data center or energy storage device may be permitted within the Chesapeake Bay critical area, and the amendment would state that this subsection shall not be interpreted to require a data center or energy storage device to be located within the Chesapeake Bay critical area. That was added just to make it clear that by permitting this use, it's not making it a mandatory use. In addition, in one of the bulk regulations, the maximum height of principal structures associated with a data storage or energy storage device is 60 feet. The amendment would state interconnection equipment, poles, or other ancillary support structures shall not be considered as principal structures subject to that height requirement. And then in the landscaping requirements, a landscaping buffer is to be provided around the perimeter of any portion. The amendment is of a property containing a building or structure used as a data center or energy storage device adjoining a property zoned or used for residential uses. And then there is also a reference, there are two other references. One is a noise provision. The amendment would state that a data center or energy storage device developed under this section shall comply with all state and local noise ordinances and regulations as set forth in COMAR and the county code. And then finally, these bulk regulations and locational requirements specifically apply to data centers or energy storage devices in the RC5 zone.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
And
Secretary.
then there are amendments, I'm sorry to interrupt you, offered by Councilman Katch and Mr. Young as well that we'll get to.
Okay, we're currently on Councilman Marks' amendment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any additional comments, Councilman Marks? Okay, do we have a motion on the amendment, Councilman Marks' amendment?
I'll move it.
We have,
Second.
okay, motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Aye. Mr. Katch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Okay, amendment carries. Mr. Secretary, next amendment, please.
The next amendment is offered by Councilman Katch. This would add an element to the definitions of both the data center and the energy storage device that is being added to the zoning regulations definition section as a result of the bill. Each of those definitions would state that a data center is only permitted east of Pulaski Highway, parens Route 40, close parens, or south of Liberty Road.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go right ahead, Councilman Katch.
yeah, first of all, this amendment protects Councilman Marks' park project on the water in his district. And I understand that Councilman Young has a area in his district that he's entertaining the use of this bill or possible use of this bill to locate data centers and storage, energy storage facilities. So what the amendment does, it protects those two locations, but exempts the area from Liberty Road over to Pulaski Highway.
Thank you, Councilman Ketch. Councilman Young, any additional comments?
No, it's, Councilman Marks, just good to go with.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Okay, do we have a motion on the amendment?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, with motion second, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
No.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks.
Aye.
Okay, the amendment carries. Now any additional amendments, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, sir. There is
Okay.
one additional amendment offered by Councilman Young. Mr. Young's amendment would allow this use. Currently, the use would be permitted in the RC5 zone as well as the MH, ML, and MR zone in the bill itself. This amendment offered by Councilman Young would insert the BM zone and allow the data center or energy storage device use in that zone if the lot on which it is located is part of a tract of land that also includes land zoned ML or MH with or without an overlay district. For the purposes of this provision, the tract may include lots separated by public roads or rights of way, and a use permitted under the paragraph may be established as a single user or operator or as part of an overall campus or park that includes multiple users or operators.
Councilman Young?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So generally speaking, since we're addressing data centers and energy storage, there was an interest from location in my district to take advantage of the opportunity since we were defining it and putting it into certain areas to allow for it in BM business major with other restrictions and clarifications that it could apply, but also keeping it in the areas that were predetermined by Councilman Marks' original bill. So then I appreciate the conversation, Councilman Marks, and have to move the amendment.
Thank you, Councilman Young. We have a motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the amendment.
Mr. Patoka,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel.
Aye.
Okay, amendment carries. Do we have any additional amendments, Mr. Secretary?
That was the last one, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, now we are on the bill itself.
Yes, the bill as amended, sir.
Any additional comments on the bill? Do we have a motion on the bill itself?
I'll move it.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka,
Nay.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Catch,
Aye.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Marks,
Aye.
Mr. Ertel,
Aye.
Mr. Crandall.
Aye.
Okay, the bill passes. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Bill 55-24, sponsored by Councilman Marks, Comprehensive Zoning Process Notice to Owner Removal of Posted Notice.
Okay, Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. Under current practice, the executive branch will post notices of the comprehensive zoning map process issues, but there's no requirement that the notices be removed. Under this legislation, the executive branch would identify a process for removing those signs.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Marks. Any additional comments, questions for Councilman Marks?
There's one amendment.
Okay, an amendment?
Yes, sir. The amendment slightly changes subsection G in the bill, consistent with the current code, which reads that the Department of Planning determines the manner in which a sign must be posted. The administration, this is offered by the administration, the administration would propose language that reads that the Department of Planning shall determine the manner of removal of the notice. Such notice shall be removed within 60 days following the conclusion of the planning board hearing on the issue to which the identified property relates.
Councilman Marks?
Thank you. And just so that there's a legislative sponsor, I will be the sponsor of that.
Yes, I'm sorry. You were
That's
also listed. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So I guess the question I have is, would PAI not remove those signs? I can tell you that back when I was first running for office, PAI had assigned someone to remove my campaign signs, just wherever they were. And so I just wonder why PAI at the time, and it's different leadership now, but PAI at the time would be so aggressive and proactive to go on private properties and remove campaign signs, or to assign someone to do that, county employee to do that. And, but yet wouldn't, we have to create legislation for PAI to pick up a Baltimore County sign. I just think it's ironic, and I guess I would say that the county's come a long way because we no longer, I thank the county executive for not having, and Pete Gutwald for not assigning county employees to go up on the private property and remove signs that a property owner chooses to put there.
Well, under a previous administration, I was told that the code inspectors would just, if they saw a sign, they would just pick it up. This at least, I think, formalizes the process.
Okay. Any additional comments, questions, or thoughts? Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, I'll second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Okay.
That was on the amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sorry. Whoops, I was excited that we were going to pick up our own signs. But let's go with the original bill. Any comments?
No, I'll move the bill.
Okay, the bill has,
Second.
I'll second it. Okay, Mr. Secretary, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Okay, now I can fairly say that we will now pick up our signs.
Somehow the others were miraculously picked up.
Yes,
Somehow.
somehow.
Or blew away.
Well, I think all of us here on the dais right now and those remote know that sign maintenance is an important part of keeping a sign in place. Okay, next item, please.
Next, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman,
Secretary.
is the council's consideration of all fiscal matters.
Okay. Hang on one second. Okay, extensive testimony was taken at the council's work session on July 30th, 2024. The witnesses who testified at the work sessions are available to restate their testimony if needed. I'll now call on the secretary to read the cover letter for fiscal matters 1 through 18.
Yes, sir. First fiscal matter is 2 contracts for heavy-duty towing services. Fiscal matter 2 is a contract with Ayers St. Gross Incorporated. Fiscal matter 3 is a contract with Digitech Computer LLC. Fiscal matter 4 is a contract with United Diagnostic Services LLC. Fiscal matter 5 is a contract of sale with Sharon Ortman. Fiscal matter 6 is a contract of sale with Danielle R. Lawrence Grant and Justin Edward Grant. Fiscal matter 7 is a contract with BW Research Partnership. Fiscal matter 8 is a contract with A Bright Idea LLC. Fiscal matter 9 is a purchase order with American Asphalt Paving Company LLC. Fiscal matter 10 is a contract with Home Paramount Pest Control Company. Fiscal matter 11 is a contract with VIP Special Services LLC. Fiscal matter 12 is a contract with the State of Maryland Laboratories Administration. Fiscal matter 13 is a contract with the State of Maryland. Fiscal matter 14 is an amendment to a contract with Adventist Adventist Healthcare Incorporated. Fiscal matter 15 is a contract with Pikesville Endoscopy Center, ASC LLC, doing business as Endocenter of Baltimore. Fiscal matter 16 is a contract with Dianon Systems Incorporated. Fiscal matter 17 is 2 contracts for vehicle damage estimating services. And fiscal matter 18 is a purchase agreement with Windsor Mill Realty LLC.
Okay, are there any questions, comments from the members?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Catch.
I'd like to separate out number 7. I've always had concerns about offshore windmills. I'm in New Jersey right now, and I guess you've read about all the controversy happening here about the beached whales, about the connection between the installation of the windmills and the disruption to sea life. These windmills are very expensive to locate. The maintenance is very expensive. And I just don't think it's the way that we need to go. In the state legislature, I voted against it, so I want to be consistent.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, can you separate those out, all but number 7?
Yes, so the council will consider in bulk fiscal matters 1 through 6 and 8 through 18.
Okay, are there any comments, questions, or thoughts on those? Councilman Young?
If I could just make a comment related to issues 12 through 16. All issues that were brought before us in the 2 work sessions focused on the health of residents that are underprivileged and also potentially don't have access to healthcare screenings. Just wanted to acknowledge the administration's work on using ARPA funds as well as general funds to allow for services that otherwise may be unattainable for some of our residents to have access to and hopefully prevent diseases that would ultimately make their lives shorter had they had access to insurance and other resources like we're providing today. So appreciate the effort on attacking and addressing social determinants of health. So appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilman Young. Any questions on the additional, on the everything but number 7? We have a motion?
I'll move it.
Motion, I'll second. So we're voting on every fiscal matter except 7.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Yes. Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Okay, those fiscal matters are approved. The one we are holding back is the Department of Economic and Workforce Development, Career Pathway for Development Analysis, Offshore Wind Industry. Mr. Sachs, could I ask you to come up in case there's any questions on this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Right, Mr. Sachs.
Mr. Councilman Catch, would you like Mr. Sachs to reiterate the need for this, or you?
No, it's a matter of me being consistent. And I understand this is a workforce development bill. I understand that. And, you know, where these people are going to work. And so, I mean, I will vote against it, and that's it.
Okay. Do we have a motion to support fiscal matter number 7?
I'll move it.
I'll second. Okay, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on fiscal matter 7.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
No.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Okay, it carries. Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Okay, we'll now consider the remainder of miscellaneous business. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. Whenever a contract over $25,000 is awarded by a process other than formal competitive bid, it is required that a copy of the contract be given to the county council and the nature and parties to that contract be announced by the secretary at the next legislative session following award. There are 5 such agreements this evening for announcement. The first is a supplier contract with ANSI National Accreditation Board, LLC. This is for the purchase of accreditation fees and audits for the Police Forensics Lab through ANSI National Accreditation Board. The accrediting body, ANAB, is the only organization that can provide renewal of the accreditation under ISO and ANAB standards. The award, the 3-year, 3-month estimated award total is $70,730. Next is a supplier contract with Magnet Forensics Incorporated. This is a term agreement for yearly renewal of the premier software license for Gray Key devices utilized by the forensics unit of the police department through Magnet Forensics. The forensic services section is allowed with Gray Key device and software to unlock Apple mobile devices, even if password protected, and it is the only device that has that ability. 3-year estimated award total of $180,030. Next is a supplier contract with Erasure Technologies Incorporated for the purchase of rapid HIV and HCV test kits through Orasure Technologies and the Department of Health and Human Services. This company is the only vendor available to provide rapid HCV testing and only sells directly to public health facilities. 5-year estimated award total of $82,550. Next is a supplier contract with Boehringer Ingelheim Animal Health USA Incorporated. This is for the purchase of rabies vaccines through this company and the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Animal Services. This company is the sole manufacturer for the IMRAB-3 rabies vaccine, which has approval for the prevention of rabies in canines, felines, and ferrets, and is recommended by the state of Maryland. The 5-year estimated award total is $250,000. And finally, the supplier contract with Fluid Solutions Incorporated for the purchase of their proprietary Derager sewage pumping system. This is the sole supplier of this sewage system in the state. 5-year estimated award total of $110,000.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. Next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 35-24, authorized payment in lieu of property taxes, or pilot, Hopkins Village Housing LP.
Ms. Williams, come on up, please. Ms. Williams, I know you talked about this at the work session, but if you can give us a brief synopsis of this, be helpful.
Good evening, Council Chairman and Councilman. Hopkins Village LP is seeking to acquire and rehabilitate and preserve the affordability of Hopkins Village, which is located in Essex, Maryland. Originally, it was built in 1979. It is preparing to do some upgrades to the unit. There are 164 seniors that reside at the premises age 62 and older. They're all on what we call Section 8 housing assistance payments. They're asking for or requesting a 20-year pilot commencing on July 1, 2025, of $300 per unit for the first year with a 2% escalator annually. Payments due annually in the arrears, and the tax payment shall be made prior to the payment of any debt service on the property.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Do any of the members have any questions, comments, or thoughts to share with Ms. Williams? Okay, I understand we have an amendment on this.
Yes, sir. There is one amendment offered by the administration. This amendment in the second whereas clause on the first page of the resolution currently states that the future owner is acquiring a parcel of land at 3 Brett Court in Essex, Baltimore County, improved with 165 units of rental housing thereon. That would be stricken, and the whereas clause would be that would be substituted with really what amounts to more specific information that the owner has acquired or will acquire a parcel of land located at 3 Brett Court, Essex, Baltimore County, Maryland, 21221, improved by 165 unit rental housing development thereon, 164 units of which will be for households whose incomes do not exceed 50% of the median income for the Baltimore metropolitan area, and 1 unit reserved for a property manager that will, which will be paid at the normal tax rate established by the county. And then there is one other reference on the second page of the resolution in the second be it resolved paragraph under subparagraph A, that the agreement shall be effective from the later of July 1, 2025, or the date future owner requires the property, not September 1, 2025.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. Any questions on the amendment? Okay, hearing none, do we have a motion on the amendment? I'll make a motion. Do we have a second? Second on the amendment.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Marks? Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Okay, the amendment passes. Now we're on the bill proper. Mr. Secretary, any questions on the bill proper? Mr. Secretary, please, is there a motion? Let me regroup myself. Is there a motion on the bill itself?
I'll move it. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Okay. The bill passes. Resolution passes, I'm sorry. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next is Resolution 36-24. This is an administration resolution that is co-sponsored by Council members Marks, Crandall, and Young. Endorsement of amendments, Baltimore County Chesapeake Bay Critical Area Modified Buffer Area Plan.
Okay, we're going to call Horacio Tablada up, also known as HT. Ms. Belcastro, let the record show I said HT, not iced tea.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. Horacio Tablada, for the record, Director of Department of Environmental Protection and Sustainability. And we are here in support of Resolution 3624, which endorses the recent amendments to the County Critical Area Modified Buffer Area, which this allows the marinas and waterfront restaurants to, in exchange of, to get near the water, in exchange of stormwater practices that have been approved by the Critical Area Commission. We worked last year with the commission on very technical details and submitted 4 exhibits that will allow these restaurants and businesses near the water so they can get near the waterfront in exchange of increasing stormwater practices which benefit the environment and water quality. So this is a win-win, and there's an amendment, technical amendment, which comes next, I guess. So we ask your support for this.
Thank you, Mr. Tablada. Do any of the members have any questions or comments? Okay, Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. Want to very much acknowledge and thank you, Mr. Tablada, the county executive staff, and the administration for their support. On November 3rd, 2022, Councilman Crandall and I attended a meeting at the Bowley's Quarters Volunteer Fire Company with your staff and marina owners, restaurant owners. We were seeking solutions for them, a way of balancing the integrity of the Chesapeake Bay critical area with the need to support our businesses. And I think we've achieved that. So I want to thank you for all of your help I want to also acknowledge Councilman Young, who succeeded me on the Critical Areas Commission. Really appreciate it. This is a win-win for everyone.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just echoing Councilman Marks, HT, thank you very much for your efforts and your staff's efforts on this initiative. I'll repeat what I said in the work session. I remember the meeting that Councilman Marks alluded to, and that could have been very contentious, that meeting, and it wasn't, and promises were kept in the spirit of compromise, cooperation, communication, and I think that we've, with this resolution, that you have achieved the balance that was mentioned in that very meeting. So thank you very much. I'm happy to be a sponsor, co-sponsor of this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Okay. Mr. Tablada, I just want to congratulate you on your one-year anniversary. I think it passed over the weekend. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You've been doing a great job, HT. Yeah. We gave him, Mr. Buttness, we gave him a one clap applause last time. Let's give him a full applause today. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tablada. Did we do the motion and vote? Okay, Mr. Secretary, I think we need a motion, a second, and a vote.
We do, but we also have an amendment before we get to the resolution as amended. The amendment, well, in the resolution on page 3, the whereas clause, the 7 whereas clauses on that page are all in the future, contemplating that there will be consideration by the Critical Area Commission Subcommittee as well as the commission itself. Those things have actually already happened now. So the whereas clauses that are requested by the administration to replace those 7 is essentially the same information, but it is in the past tense because those approvals have already taken place by the subcommittee as well as the commission. And the whereas clauses would just state that in lieu of the past, in lieu of the future tense.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on the amendment?
So moved.
We have a motion and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Okay, the amendment carries. Now we're back to the resolution itself. Any additional comments or questions? Thanks again, HT. Do we have a motion on the resolution itself?
I'll move it.
Okay, we have a motion, second, and Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Okay, the resolution passes. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Resolution 37-24, sponsored by Councilman Marks, encouraging Baltimore Gas and Electric Company to lessen impacts of Brandon Shores mitigation project.
Okay, Councilman Marks.
Thank you very much. I gave a little bit of a sneak preview of this a couple minutes ago. This resolution urges Baltimore Gas and Electric to take whatever steps are feasible to mitigate the impacts of the Brandon Shores retirement mitigation project. BGE is planning to upgrade or build substations and approximately 37 miles of transmission lines on existing corridors in Hartford, Baltimore, and Anne Arundel counties. This is a reaction to the closure of Brandon Shore plant in northern Anne Arundel County. Look, we understand BGE has very difficult choices here. The constituents I represent would simply like BGE to do whatever it can to mitigate some of the clear effects that this is going to have on the communities. There's a particular concern about public safety. Areas such as Kingsville do not have public water. They don't have fire hydrants. So we would love to see BGE try to support some ways to make sure that those neighborhoods are going to remain safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Marks.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Councilman Catch?
Yeah, Councilman Marks, can you, with the BGE project. Can you, do you have any idea if the lines were to be put underground, what we're talking about as far as what kind of space is needed?
It would be expensive. They've given me quotes of several $1 million per mile.
Yeah.
I mean, there are areas along the path that are historic. There's a Franklinville Historic District where we would love to see some of the lines be buried. Like I said, these are very difficult choices. I understand it's costly, but hopefully BGE can come up with some solutions.
Yeah, I asked the same question for the Piedmont project, and yeah, you're right. It's very expensive. I'm very concerned, as you are, about the fire issues, about the safety issues in general. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We have a motion on the amendment, on the resolution?
I think there's an amendment.
Amendment, okay.
Yes, the amendments are mostly technical. They clarify some existing language and correct some language in the resolution. It corrects that the Brandon Shores Mitigation Project is a retirement mitigation project. There's also an amendment in the first paragraph that states that the transmission lines should be buried where feasible, especially in park land and in rural areas that could act as wildfire corridors, particularly those that lack public water to extinguish them. In the second whereas, the amendment specifies the Brandon Shores Generating Station is a 40-year-old coal-fired electric power plant that sits on the banks of the Patapsco River in northern Anne Arundel County and generates about 1,300 megawatts. The third whereas paragraph states in April 2023, the owner of Brandon Shores, Talon Energy Corporation, gave notice of its plans to deactivate Brandon Shores. And then in the the third whereas on the first page would state that in order to address significant grid reliability issues arising from the planned retirement of Brandon Shores, the federally regulated regional grid operator, PJM, has directed BGE to construct transmission upgrades known as the Brandon Shores Retirement Mitigation Project. This amendment would specify that. And then in the first be it resolved paragraph, the amendment would restate what was in the first paragraph of the resolution related to the labeling as a retirement mitigation project and the reference to parkland and the concern about wildfire corridors. And then actually that is it. So again, mostly technical and mostly just clarifying.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Mark?
Just to be transparent, we actually did work with BGE on some of the language, make sure that it was technically accurate. So.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion on the amendment?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young? Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Okay, the amendment passes. We're now on the resolution proper. Any additional comments on the resolution? Do we have a motion on the resolution?
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Okay, the resolution passes. Mr. Secretary, is there any further business to come before the council?
There is one other item, Mr. Chairman. It is Resolution 38-24, sponsored by Councilman Crandall. This is a resolution to authorize the property tax refund to Miss Mary Hill, who as a blind person is entitled to a partial refund under state law.
I'll move the resolution.
Okay, I'll second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Patoka?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Mr. Catch?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Ertel?
Aye.
That was a bit of a curveball, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, yeah, I can handle the curveball. Well, maybe not so much, but anyhow, now, Ms. Secretary, are there any further business come before the council this evening?
There is no further business, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting is adjourned. As is customary, anyone who has registered to speak online prior to the meeting is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Ms. Belcastro, are there any speakers signed up for this evening?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Our first speaker this evening is Jeffrey Budnitz, who is here in person.
Okay, Mr. Budnitz, welcome.
Good evening. I'll be brief. I think that your comments about Elizabeth Sachs earlier were very well placed. We've been diligently working with her, Sam O'Neill, and other members of the executive office in attempting to mitigate unanticipated impacts of reimagining on nature councils. We continue that process. We hope for that process to culminate in an outcome that is equivalent to what happened with the rec councils. Because our hope is to continue as nature councils after the end of the year, which is a real issue based on how things are structured currently, and we're efforting in that part. So I just wanted to give you an update. In addition, I spoke to HT briefly prior to the meeting. You might remember back in 2018, Councilman Marks, Bevins, and Catch put legislation on the table related to the painted trees at Oregon Ridge. It was very appropriate legislation, but being that it affects all flora and fauna in a park, it could affect weed warrior initiatives and other removal of non-native plants, the planting of trees. So I would say I'm going to have a discussion with Debs and the director of Rec and Parks to be thoughtful and putting forth something possibly in front of the council to make a minor tweak because I think it's having some unintended consequences related to that. So that's everything I have to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Budnitz. And Mr. Budnitz, I want to thank you for your commitment and dedication and your fine work related to the Lake Roland Nature Council.
Thank you. And the county administrative officer is going to go for a tour next week. I did tell her it wouldn't be like Gilligan's Island, so it'll be a very pleasant tour with an end on it. So,
well, Ms. Walker, I just want to, if Mr. Budnitz does not, I want to when you do that tour, I just want you to enjoy your time in the beautiful 2nd District of Baltimore County. Okay, Ms. Belcastro, next speaker.
Our next speaker is Fred Homan, who is here in person.
Mr. Homan. Welcome, Mr. Homan. There you go.
Thank you. This again involves the matter of the payment made to Philip Tarabasi. On December 21st, 2020, Council Bill 11620 took effect. It had been introduced in November of 2020. It was sponsored by Council members Marks and Jones and was passed unanimously. Bill 11620 required the county attorney to submit an annual report of liability payments to the council that have been made by the administration to settle claims or cases. I filed the Maryland Public Information Act request with the council on July 8, 2024, over 3.5 years later, asking for a copy of the annual report from calendar year 2020. The council responded with the annual report, but it was missing the summary of the claim or case. In other words, it was missing the why for all of the liability payments. I responded by pointing that out and expected the council to advise the county attorney of his obligation to comply with the law. Instead, the council responded by telling me that if I think that the county attorney hasn't complied with the law, I should contact him myself. In other words, go file another MPIA request. of significance, the council didn't argue at all that the required information wasn't there or was there. Didn't argue about it at all. Just said, go talk to the county attorney. This afternoon, I told you via email that I will not do that. I will wait for the council to find its self-respect and demand that the county attorney comply with 11620. In the meantime, I will continue with the complaint that I filed with the Maryland Public Information Act Ombudsman, and if the council refuses to mediate, I will file a complaint with the MPAA Compliance Board. By the way, since the county attorney and his office are the cause of the council not having a completed annual report, his office may have to decline to represent the council for either mediation or a complaint filed with the board because of a conflict of interest. In fact, I'm thinking I should insist upon that because it's such a severe conflict of interest. The county attorney not submitting an annual report that complies with council law. One last thing. The county executive has lied to the public about paying Mr. Tarabasi because of an unauthorized agreement. I don't believe that Mr. Benjamin lied to him, which is where the executive might go next. You see, as early as January 2020, communications from and within the Office of Law reveal full knowledge that the agreement which was signed in May 2020 violated state law. It's very clear, and you can have a copy of the documents anytime you want them. The May 2020 agreement is written proof of a conspiracy to defraud the retirement system. That is the reason that the executive is looking to deflect and make the public believe that he was forced into it. You all know better. You all know better.
Thank you, Mr. Homan.
I'm waiting to see if anyone has a comment.
Mr. Homan, this is an opportunity for the public to speak. It's less of an opportunity for interaction with the council.
Oh, I understand. But Mr. Marks and Mr. Jones sponsored that legislation, and they apparently thought that it was going to enhance the council's ability for oversight. I'm not seeing it. How about you? Mr. Marks, Mr. Jones, anybody seeing some oversight here?
Thank you, Mr. Homan.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Belcastro, next speaker, please.
Certainly, Mr. Chair. Our next speaker is Lee Giroux, who is on virtually. Ms. Giroux, you are on as a panelist. You may begin your testimony.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Just have a little connection problem here. Sorry. We had an electrical problem here where we are. Sorry. I'm here to talk about case number 06-017, and also my customer and owner of that one property, Calvin Levine from Masters Construction, is also on this call. Is there any way we can bring both of us in at the same time?
Ms. Giroux, what issue are you here for?
06-017.
Is that that's not a number of a bill or resolution that we're working?
It's a CZMP issue.
Oh, it's a CZMP. Okay, gotcha. Well, Ms. Giroux, we had a hearing on CZMP, so if you could just state what your comments are, and that would be helpful.
Sure.
We'll give you your full 3 minutes.
Thank you so very much. Calvin Levine and Masters Construction, we made me aware. I'm an advocate, and he's one of my customers for many years. Back on June of 2024, actually June 11th of 2024, he notified me that he saw a sign posted on his property, and that's when all this back and forth occurred with us trying to figure out why this zoning change was going to maybe occur. And there obviously had been a hearing on February 27th of 2024, to which he was not aware. He'd never received the letter. And Now that we've done some investigation, going back to the actual address of this property, there are two addresses, 8624 Quinton Avenue and 8632. And what had happened was that apparently when he bought this parcel back on February 19th of 2016, and I have his settlement paper in front of me, the title company has not correctly recorded or typed in the ownership address. So therefore, the letter that was supposed to be generated from the environmental folks only went to the one address and the other property owner that's next door to where the lot is that he bought. So we were just asking Councilman Ertel, and I spoke briefly about this, but he didn't have this information at the time either, that we would like to have some either postponement or reconsideration for this property to not have it changed from DR 5.5 to DR 3.5.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rowe. Councilman Ertel is here, and I think he's here, heard you loud and clear. He's here remotely. So appreciate your comments on that CZMP issue. Ms. Belcastro, next speaker, please.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. Our next speaker is Preston Snedegar, who is here in person.
Mr. Snedegar. All right.
Hope this thing's working. Okay, you talk about affordable homes. In 1971, capital gains was 6 months. Okay, interest deduction was fully deductible on the taxes. Young people could buy homes. You tax the hell out of them and wonder why they can't buy a home. Shame on all of you. Okay, next issue. You talk about the committee about the schools and overcrowding and so forth. What did the developers do wrong? I want to know what the developers did wrong. Trick question, isn't it? Nothing. They developed. Your statistics since I remember 1971 have sucked for how many students you're going to have every year, on. Now you want to have a committee to do it. You're not qualified to do it. You haven't done it in 30 years. You're going to do it with a committee, and a committee is the worst thing in the world to have. Nobody's in charge. I love it. Hey, Committee A, talk to Committee B, Committee C. Did you get anything? Oh, no, the committees couldn't agree. Or we do halfway. Let's cut it in half. The worst thing I've ever saw. Now, that's MBA giving you solutions to your problem. Now, here's one I have I'm going to solve, because you can't. Kelly Madigan is going to be taken on, and I'm going to try to get her law license removed for things she's done here. Johnny O's done some evil things. We'll try to get him locked up. Okay, Benjamin, the other attorney, going after his law license. Foose, I'm going after his law license. Kathy Bevins, I want her paid $20,000 back to the county she stole, or appropriated, or misappropriated, whatever the hell the term is. Okay, I have another one, Erin, election board. I don't know about her yet. I'll know soon. I'll handle it. I don't need you. I'll fix it. I'm fixing it for my 4-year-old granddaughter, and shame on all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Snedegar. Okay, Ms. Belcastro, next speaker, please.
Certainly, Mr. Chair. Our next speaker is Joanne Frederick, who is on virtually.
Okay, Ms. Frederick.
Ms. Frederick, you may begin your testimony.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. My name is Joanne Frederick. I live in Freeland, Maryland. I'm in Mr. Koch's district. A few things. Firstly, Mr. Councilman Koch, I appreciate your amendments to Bill 5424 that help clarify the legislation. Secondly, I am one of the co-founders of a new nonprofit organization called Stop MPRP. We have brought together a coalition of residents and citizens from Baltimore, Carroll, and Frederick County. I welcome the opportunity to meet with any members of the council to share what we've learned so far about the proposed Maryland Piedmont Reliability Project. And lastly, it is very possible that we could propose legislation at the county council level to help protect Baltimore County from these types of projects in the future. And I would ask for your cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Frederick.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go right ahead, Councilman Katch.
Ms. Frederick, we have just concluded a study of this issue and what you can do as citizens. And I'm now writing the message that I'll put in my weekly newsletter and send it out, because I share the same concerns that you do. And I want our attention to go to where it's going to matter. So you'll be hearing from me in the near future.
I appreciate that, Councilman. We have amassed quite a number, more than 20,000 folks are following us now, have subscribed to our newsletters, are doing outreach and volunteering to help us stop this project. So I look forward to working with the council in collaboration and cooperation so we can serve all of our neighbors across the county and beyond.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Frederick. Thank you, Councilman Katch. Ms. Belcastro, do we have any additional speakers?
There are no other speakers this evening, Mr. Chair.
Okay, well, this concludes this evening's meeting. Thanks, everyone, for hanging in there.